Artificial intelligence is a fairly hot topic in most industries at the moment. With tools like Midjourney and ChatGPT, it's no wonder some creatives are getting a little bit nervous about what the future holds for them. Today, we are going to put AI to the test and see who can create the best light painting image. Recently, I picked up some new version 2 Pavotubes as well as a brand new car, so I thought, let's take these down to the docks and see what we can get. Then we'll challenge AI to do the same. For any beginner photographer, long exposure light painting photography is simply when we leave the shutter open for a longer period of time, we walk into the scene with a light in our hand, we move it all around and either paint the subject we want or we create a shape with the light. If we do this correctly, the camera won't even capture us, it'll just capture the light that's in our hand. I want to create a few different images tonight, some that feel like maybe an advertisement, but others that are just wacky and crazy and that I feel look good. Because remember, if it looks good, it is good. To create the final images that I have in my mind, I will most likely be stacking multiple photos in Photoshop and masking in and out the bits that I do or don't want. So these will probably not be captured in one go. Do you remember the Star Wars kid from back in the day? That's what I feel like. The lights that we're using on this shoot are the Nanlite Pavotubes 15C and 30C version 2s. These are full RGB lights, which means we can get super creative and come up with some real funky little patterns in the sky, if you will. These also have the new upgraded diffusion over the V1s, which means we won't get any nasty streaks from any single diode. So we can rest assured we'll get some pretty sweet shots with these guys. If you've never done this before, I suggest wearing all black, so when you're in the shot, you're going to blend into the background and not get seen by the light. If I'm running around with a white shirt, this light lights up my shirt, I'm just going to be a random blob walking through the image. We don't want that. Wear black, play it smart. And while we're out here light painting, to keep it on theme, we're going to listen to the Lights and Sounds album by Yellow Card. See what I did there? Anyway, I think we've got enough shots for tonight. It's time to get back to the lab, do some edits, and then see what AI's got in store for us. So we're back in the lab and we've done some edits and I'm pretty happy with what we've been able to come up with so far. If you've never used layers in Photoshop before, it's a really cool way to expand your creativity and your perception of what's possible in different situations. I did lots of trial and error in Midjourney and a lot of the time it couldn't quite get that whole light painting thing down. There were a few times it got pretty good, but there was one moment where it left the light painting command in the dust and decided it was going to go with a cyberpunk Tokyo neon vibe. And those shots look pretty bloody sick. I know those cars don't exist, but some of those cars, oh, the front grills, they just look so good. Considering it's only in its infant stages, it's pretty scary how good this thing can be. However, for now, especially with light painting as the forefront of today's topic, I think my job's safe. So we're using Midjourney version 5 and I gave it this image as a source file to kind of reference back so it can recreate it. This is where it totally lost the plot because it turned the light trails into physical objects. It put a random lady on my car and the physics didn't make sense. It was sitting at angles. There was one where it's just chest up on the bonnet. Looks like a Rocket League ornament where they put the little hats on the car.
I like boobies.
And some of the cars were sitting on platforms, the front of the car was facing instead of the rear of the car. It just kind of lost the plot here. So for now, photographers, don't worry too much. I think we've got them covered here. However, I do think that you can use this tech to your advantage. I think this is a great tool to help with ideation and inspiration for shoots. I also think for me personally, the way I'll use it, especially in a filmmaking space, is to help create storyboards. To be able to show a client what a video is going to look like and show a bit of a story and come up with a bit of concept art, I think that's going to be absolutely gold. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.